Chapter 8. The Treasure. Tom went into the dark tunnel. He saw a light and heard a noise.
Who is looking for us?
He thought. Suddenly, he saw a hand with a candle. Then he saw a man. It was Injun Joe. Tom was terribly scared, but it was dark, and Injun Joe did not see Tom. Injun Joe went away quickly. Tom returned to Becky, but he did not tell her about Injun Joe. She was very weak. It was Tuesday, and in St. Petersburg everyone was worried. Where were Tom and Becky? Many people from the village went to the cave and looked for them, but they could not find them. Mrs. Thatcher became very ill, and Aunt Polly's hair became white. Then, on Tuesday night, there was a lot of noise in the streets of St. Petersburg.
They're here.
They're here.
Becky and Tom are
here.
Becky and Tom are here.
Cried the people happily. No one went to sleep that night. Everyone listened to Tom's story about his adventure in the cave.
We were lost for a long time. We were hungry and scared. Then I remembered the string in my pocket. I used the long string to help me. I went down many tunnels, and I always returned to Becky because I followed the string. Then I found another entrance to the cave. It was very small, and it was near the river.
Tom and Becky were happy, but very tired and hungry. Becky stayed in bed for many days because she was weak. Tom stayed in bed for a few days too. Sometime after the adventure in the cave, Tom went to visit Becky. Mr. Thatcher asked Tom,
Do you want to go to the cave again?
Oh, I'm not afraid of the cave,
said Tom.
Well, nobody is going into the cave again. There are big doors in front of the entrance now, and I have the keys,
said Mr. Thatcher.
What?
Tom's face became white.
Is something wrong, Tom?
Asked Mr. Thatcher.
Injun Joe's in the cave,
cried Tom. Many men from St. Petersburg went to the cave and opened the big doors. They found Injun Joe on the ground. He was dead. After Injun Joe's funeral, Tom went to see Huck.
Now that Injun Joe's dead, we'll never find the money,
said Huck sadly.
Listen, Huck,
said Tom.
I know where the money is.
Really?
Asked Huck with big eyes.
The money is in the cave. I saw Injun Joe in the cave. Why was he in the cave? Because he took the money there,
said Tom.
Say it again, Tom,
said Huck.
The money's in the cave, and we can take it.
But we'll get lost in the cave,
said Huck.
No, we won't. I've got candles and a long string. Let's go and get a boat,
said Tom. They took a small boat and went down the Mississippi River to McDougal's cave.
Look, Huck, here's the other entrance,
said Tom.
It's very small,
said Huck. Tom and Huck went into the cave. They were careful and used the long string to help them. Tom suddenly stopped and said,
I saw Injun Joe here.
His ghost is probably here too,
said Huck.
Let's go now.
His ghost isn't here. It's probably at the other entrance.
Well, all right, but let's hurry,
said Huck. Tom looked around slowly and then cried,
Look, here's the cross.
There was a black cross on the wall of the cave.
You're right. It's the cross,
said Huck.
Let's dig under the cross.
They dug and dug. Finally, they found a small room. There was a small bed, some old candles, and a few bottles. And there was the treasure box. They opened it and saw the gold and silver coins.
We're rich, Tom. We're rich,
cried Huck.
This is wonderful.
I always knew it,
said Tom.
Now let's take our treasure and leave.
They followed the long string and were soon out of the cave. The two boys took their treasure to Aunt Polly's house. A lot of people in St. Petersburg saw the boys and the treasure. They followed them to Aunt Polly's house. Aunt Polly was surprised to see the boys and all the people.
Tom, what's in that old box?
She asked. Tom opened the treasure box. Everyone was amazed. They looked at all the silver and gold coins. There was $12,000. Tom told his long story about Injun Joe and the treasure. It was a great story, and the people listened with their eyes wide open. Now Tom and Huck were rich and famous in St. Petersburg.